to learn how to get a link in here for him. And maybe, is there any kind of like monetization buttons in the chat that I can't see? Because I can't see anything. Because it says it has it on the YouTube, but I don't know if it's in this chat. You know what I mean? If you could help me out with that, that would be great. And all working. It's all working. And then there's a way of like taking another chat and putting it in here, but I don't know now that I'm in here if I can do it. You know what I mean? So you don't see it? Yes, you do see it. Oh, okay. I'm not worried about you guys. I'm just curious. Oh, and then it says I can chat up here, maybe? No. You see that screen jump? Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Banter, Richie B. Everything sounds good, looks good, all that stuff going good? Bottom right corner. Okay, of your chat where you're looking. Gotcha. Maybe if I can go in. I'm just trying to learn, so I appreciate you guys' patience. This one keeps saying upcoming on it on my thing. I don't know what that is. And then it won't let me remove it. It tells me that it was removed by the uploader. Newsflash, I'm the uploader! What the fuck? So stupid, dude. Dumb as shit. All right, there we go. All right, awesome. I figured we'd come on, have a little chat. I would test this out. Obviously, I'm having issues with it, trying to figure it out. Trying to see if my channel's live. It just keeps showing me that stupid one that, I don't see it on my channel. But yet I'm directly connected to YouTube. You guys are all on YouTube, right? Yeah, so you have to be. Yeah. But yet I can look on my phone and I can't see it on YouTube as if my channel's live. And it's my channel. You guys can, but I can't. Anyways. Let's see. Nope. Oh, now it's showing me live, but I can't see it. There's just my Deno's here. Awesome. Yeah, see, I can't see the broadcast. Oh, there it is. Now I can. Oh, wow, it came up. Imagine that. Oh, I see lower right corner. Super stickers, super chat. All right, I got you. All right, I see it. That's a good picture, man. Isn't that a good picture? I like that picture. All right, I'm going to watch it on the broadcast as we chat. So I figured we'd just chat about some kind of, whatever, something light, right? Like a light subject. And let me see if I can say hi to everybody. Yeah, it's weird. You can't put anybody's name on it. You can't put stuff on the screen or anything. I don't know if I could ever get used to that shit. So yeah, hi Lisa Ann. Thank you for your help, Tyler. Wojo's here. What's up, Wojo? After I'm done with this broadcast, I'm going to tweak it a little bit, work with it a little bit more, and then I know there's a way of creating like I can go in the restream and create a link and then bring it in as a source, and then Wojo can actually come in the studio as well. Or anybody can, really. Just depends. But that would be nice to be able to figure that part out. And then once it gets blue on your name, there's no way of getting that off. Oh, there it is. All right, now you can scroll. All right, so thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. As you can see, I'm in the festive mood. Not really, but I figured I would turn it up a little bit. And start headed towards, Christmas and the holidays and Thanksgiving. And everybody just kind of, keep in mind that it's the holiday season. There's people out there struggling, reach out to somebody and help them any way you can. Damien's been here for a while. What's up, Damien? Let's see. And Sparky helped me a lot. He was messaging me, of course, his famous screenshots and clips and all that shit, trying to help my old dumb ass out. So I appreciate you, Sparky, if you're out there even listening. Austin View, hope you and the fam is doing great. Glad you're doing great in life. Yeah, good to see you, man. Good to see everybody. So, hey, I figured a nice light subject to kind of get started so I can get used to the OBS. Because I do want to go directly to YouTube on the chat as well. It helps. the channel a little bit more. I feel that like Restream kind of distributes things and restricts you. You know what I mean? And we're gonna stop making our way this way, anyways. So I have to get used to all the all the features and options that you can have, and being a caveman and stuff makes a little bit trickier. You know, what's up, First Kind? How you doing? D-Hoot. Thank you, D-Hoot. Good to see you, D-Hoot. Sorry about that last confusion. What happened was I actually had to go in and find, there was an old link in there, and it says you can use an existing one. And I got rid of the existing ones, but the link was still in the edit section. Like, who would know that, right? I mean, somebody with more advanced technology than me, right? What's up? What's up, Tim, Ohio Bigfoot Researchers? And the other thing, guys, if you see somebody in here like Tim, he's got a page and stuff, go over and follow him. You know, go like, subscribe, and hit the notify button. Support each other, right? And you guys are really good at that. I just want to initiate it, you know? That's the only difference, is me just initiating. So let's get started. Let's have a conversation. Let's see. I don't know. Let's have a conversation. I wanted to talk a little bit about structures, right? So I wanted to come in and just have a discussion about Bigfoot and structures and things like that. And just like I said, a light conversation, not get too heavy. You know, I want to see in the chat, are you guys going to have to type a little fast, you know what I mean, or whatever the case might be, and I'm going to have to keep up. Because obviously it's not a verbal conversation. I'm not showing pictures in this case. It's just a conversation, right? So one of the big things when I came in here, right? Yeah, press those like buttons. Hit that emoji, right? Slap those hearts. Slap them. When I first came in, right? Yeah, Wojo don't have a wrench. Can I give him a wrench in here? No, I can't. I have to go into YouTube to give him a wrench. I wonder if I can do that. I can right here, right? I should give Wojo a wrench. He feels like a fan again. Oh, it's so sweet. Let's see. Add as moderator. A standard moderator. Manage blocked words, change chat mods and modes. No, you don't need all that. You can't handle that technology. Here you go, Wojo. Hey, Elder's here. Tansei. Sam's here. What's up, Sam? Here you go. Here you go. I love it. Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it when we get to just hang out and have some fun, right? I think that's a demotion, ain't it? For you, Wojo? You've been demoted. Strangely enough, that's kind of weird. Let's see. Thank you, Rich, so much. Yeah, absolutely, man. Always, dude. We're always here to support and help each other. And you know what the cool thing is? I could sit here on my own. Look, you see all the I got all the. I can do it on my phone. I can give myself hearts. Austin goes, "Hey, Fondle." What's up, dude? Is that the Boogie Woogie? What's up, Boogie Woogie? Boogie Woogie, I know him from gaming, obviously, right? That's why you call me by my handle. If you don't know my handle, you might not want to. Depends, I guess. But yeah, hit the like button, hit the laughy face. You get this here. I can do all kinds of things. It's like I'm a fan. I should give myself a wrench. That'd be pretty good. It feels like I can. Why are they allowing me to do this? Look at that. I can give myself money. If I had money. Yeah, I know it's the boogie. So I just said. Pay attention. Thank you, Ghost Girl. How are you? That was made by Amanda Lombardo. I'm trying to get her to be like a part-time producer of ours, but she was on Spooky Japan for a long time, and she has her own thing out now called the Phantom Navigator. And I'm waiting to be a guest on her show. She's pre-recorded and all that, and then she uploads it. And then I guess she's going to do some lives once she gets, you know, kind of going, right? Damien, I am going to put a word in for you at YouTube so we can get the hearts colored black. All right? See that? Lots of hearts. See that? See what I'm doing? This is crazy. You guys, no wonder why we had over almost 11,000. And David, I didn't get that count yet. I'm on my desktop now, so I can go in. That's the only way I can get it is get the desktop. Yeah, and I hit the dollar. Maybe give myself a super sticker. Oh, wow. That's awesome. That'd be nice. That'd be giving like 30% right to YouTube. What an investment. What an investment. This guy's a genius. Idiot. But yeah, so I can see everything right here. So we are going to be uploading these as well to Dark Realm TV, so you still be able to see us over there and yourselves over there. That's kind of cool. And also Media Squatch and H-Low Outdoors. So all of them remain the same, all the platforms that we're on. We're truly grateful for them guys. I don't know if you can hear my little dude screaming upstairs. He gets fired up around 6:30. It's right around bedtime, amen. One more hour. I love hanging with him. He's just a lot of work, a lot of energy. But let's see. Oh, so amazing you get. Yeah, that'd be cool, right, dude? That'd be really cool. I'd like that a lot. And you know what's funny is this, I don't know how to mute my microphone, or I don't know how to, you can't drop the screen down and go for a walk. I think you just got, I don't know, just got to pee in a bottle or something weird. But anyway, something I'm going to get used to it for the advancement and the sake of growing on YouTube in the business end of this. And not only the business end of this, but actually spreading the word about our research, our form of research, how we do it in a kind manner, in a respectful manner to our fellow researchers, other researchers that have different techniques and different methods. Not going, oh, that'll never work. 100% this or 100% that or know-it-all bullshit. Guys have had a lot of experience. That's different. Right? But when you come in saying, oh, they do this and they do that, for me, unless you've really observed them doing that, for me, I don't say that. That's just my thing. But I'm not going to shit on someone else, because they've had a lot more experience than me and seen a lot more things than me. It could be 100% to them. You go over and over and over again, and these experiences that you have become data, become science, in a sense, right? Yeah, sure. Not the DNA, physical type, blood type, urine type, hair type, none of that stuff. But over and over, just you can ask any scientist, they'll tell you that. The collection of data that proves the same point over and over again becomes science. That's what it is, right? Let's see. What the hell what? Yeah, no, I got pants on. I'm good. Yeah, you can see it right here, right? Right here. Right there. I should have put a fake wang. You guys would have thought I was pantless. What? I went to a commercial? What? Yes, I'm live. My son's at. What do you mean a commercial? I have commercials? See, this is what I'm talking about. Where's that set up? Elda. Did I really go to a commercial? Are you serious? Are we there? You think they would let me know that I'm going to go to a commercial? It's like I'm on Animals podcast. Yeah. Oh, Woj texted me and said I was live. Thanks, Woj. Missed it. Missed it completely. Just a bit outside, Jim. Yeah, I went to an ad, and how long was the ad? I've had 2 commercials so far. I'm doing this OBS thing, and they're telling me that they have commercials popping up. Oh, wait, dinner's here. It's like the real. Thank you. You're the best.
You're welcome.
You really are. Oh, yeah, hang on. We got to talk to the lady in the window. Yes.
It's jalapeno ketchup.
Oh God, what? Why?
I don't know.
Was it a mistake?
Might have been.
Yeah. I'll try it. I don't care. They add them every 15 minutes. Okay, so what do I got? Yeah, and just came up, and now I can't get rid of it. What the hell is that? There's got to be a button on this. Can I get a button on this thing for no commercials? I use Brave Web Browser on PC. You don't get adverts. I don't know. Yeah, they're paying me to. I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry. I don't know anything. I'm just remember. We all started at the beginning together, right? Most of you guys have been here a long time with me. Hell, Ghost Girl was around, and I know Sam was around. D-Who definitely was around. Wojo was around. Andy, we didn't have any of this stuff going on. You guys made the ads happen. It's all your fault. You know what I mean? Because you supported my dumb ass. I want to get to a Bigfoot subject, if I may. We're all. Oh. Well, everybody should have food. When you come on, when you're hanging out with me around this time, every week there's food coming in. It's just the way it is. I'm Italian. We have certain times where we gotta graze. Tell me when there's a commercial up so I can go pee. Come on, that's kind of funny. Oh, you can skip the ad? It says you can skip the ad? All right. Well, let's have a conversation. Who wants to talk about? Let's talk about structures, right? Let's talk about the possibility of Bigfoot making structures, why he would make those structures, the different meanings to him if indeed he does make them. What would the different meanings be on those, right? My third or fourth month here, I think. Yeah, you're pretty new, dude. I'd say 3 tops. It just feels like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. Mooncat, thank you for coming in. What's happening, everybody? I'm just trying out the OBS system. It didn't go well, the setup. I planned on being on around 5. We got on at like 6:15, something like that. Yeah, it was a terrible old man thing that was going on, and I couldn't figure out half the stuff. You know what's funny is I'm looking at what's up, Sparky? Thank you for your help, man. You eating leftover pizza, Elder? What's everybody eating? It's 6:30 where I am. I don't know. Chat filters, community moderation. Why is it telling me? I don't need that. If I needed that, I would have reached out for it, you dope. The other feature that you can do now, too, is hype. I guess there's a hype button somewhere. Anybody know where the hype button is? We should hype the shit out of things and see what happens. But you're never going to compete with, like, those big ones that, like, because they don't put them in categories, right? And Bigfoot's down the scale of YouTube, really, believe it or not. I mean, just because your page has a bunch of things on it, that's because you clicked it. But, yeah, like music and reaction videos, those are the big ones. But, hey, fuck it, we'll try. You know what I mean? And then Bobby Lee told me that I got limited on Ghost Girls Eating Ice Cream. I got limited on one of my videos because I swore too much. But probably not going to change. So you can't opt out of adverts as you. I can't. No, YouTube charge $3.99 a month to stop them, but change web browser. Yeah, I just wondered if there was something in mind where I can slow roll an ad or something. Because anytime I'm live, they want to push their stuff and make their money. You know what I mean? So I'm basically a hooker. Is that loud? Damien's eating Red Bull. So, my finger hurts already for trying to. You're never gonna beat D-Hoo. She got a trigger finger from Texas. You're doing the Stranger Things marathon. Okay, I don't watch much of those shows, but all right, good for you. I did you were 649. I hit it. Went 87 something. Oh, not sure what that means. You can't zero the ads. Yeah, I know. We don't speak Scottish. So, Richie, is it the Freetown State Forest that you usually go boots on? No, not even close, bro. Not even close, my man. Yeah, let me see. Just munching. No, it's not bad. It's just munching. All right. What I do is, I don't know if you guys do this, but I like to put potato chips on my sandwiches and subs. These are sour cream and cheddar, and they're on cheeseburger, yellow cheese, red onion, and apparently jalapeno ketchup, which I'm probably not a fan of. I don't like any flavored condiments. That's very weird to me. I don't know why. What? I got a commercial? What do you mean I got a commercial? What, a commercial just came up? Because I think Freetown State... Yes, it is part of the triangle. Correct. Yep. Premium, no ads. You're right. You're right, Mooncat. Question everyone, is Richie the only one on the left of your headset, or is it stereo for our test run? So we know what to fix. Oh. Will you get a car dashboard Christmas tree and leave it at the gift and chair? What do you mean, like a scent or some what? A car dashboard Christmas tree? What the fuck, bro? I don't know what you're doing in Scotland, but we're not running around with little Christmas trees on our dashboards. What the hell? That's crazy. What do you mean I got a commercial? Do I have my own commercial? I don't know. I should have my own commercial. Oh, that's right, Jim. You know what I mean? A little shalama bama ding dong. All right, can we get to the structure conversation, or you guys just want to goof off? One or the other. So, yes or no? Do you in the chat room right now, Freetown State Forest location? Yeah, I've been in there, dude. It's pretty wild. Yeah, everything, right? Subs, everything. I want to open a sandwich shop called Chips. And then you just set up the display of all these different flavored of chips, and you can get roast beef and American cheese with sour cream and onion Utz chips on them. Crunch it right in there. Bang. Oh, well, I didn't have a commercial. Yeah, they're doing ads. So, yeah, so if you don't have premium, I guess you get ads. I don't know. I was supplied with premium by my wonderful executive producer. Hello, Lori Ladd. All right, Lori Ladd's here. Let's be serious. I got to be nice to Ojo, too. Hey, Lori. Lisa Ann told me that, too, I think. I'm not. They don't think I'm nice. I am nice. I'm just a goofball, that's all. I'm always kidding. I'm never serious. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm serious when I get the shits get out of me in the woods, you know? Let's see. Lori Ladd and Lisa Ann, whereabouts are you from in this great country of ours? Sweet chili chicken crisp. And is it dinner time? And if it is, what are you eating? Because we're going to talk about structures eventually, but we have to get this out of the way. Hold on. Not bad. I mean, anybody ever have like a flavored ketchup? Like a this one's jalapeno. Jalapeno ketchup. Anyways, show of hands. I don't know if they have a hand emoji in there you can use. Or yes, or no. How many of you believe? Hey, Richie. I know I was just messing with you. No, you're in Arkansas. All right, so it's near dinner time for you. It's like, you know, what, an hour difference? Because that's Memphis. So Memphis, I think Memphis is an hour behind. I've been to Memphis, but we don't talk about Memphis stories on live YouTube. I'll tell you that. So yeah. All right, so you guys are about the same. It makes me gag. My son David puts it on everything. I don't even want to talk about it. So I like a little bit of ketchup. I'm a mayonnaise guy. You know what I mean? I like mayonnaise. Ranch Dorito. Yeah, ranch Doritos. Yeah, ranch Doritos on a Italian sub. Oh God, that's so good. The oil seeps into them and stuff. Oh. Anyway, stop. All right, that's enough. With a show of hands, a yes or no, one word. Do you guys believe that Bigfoot does structures? Do you believe he makes structures? Ready, set, go. No more ranch talk, no more food talk. Yes, no, show a hand. Raise your hand. I'll take that as a yes. Go. Stop, Tyler. Mustard relish. Waiting on you. Yeah, Central Time. That's right. That's right. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, you have pictures of structures, but not him making the structure. That's the distinct difference. Oh, yeah. All right. I like this. Oh, I like the maybe. Fucking fellow researcher. Maybe. Maybe. He's like, yeah, maybe they make structures. Just maybe. All right. Glad he's not my co-host tonight. Ooh, and the dog man. Okay. It's interesting. Yeah, Mojo means yes. I've seen him stand around a structure going, there's no way the wind did that. There's no way. That and, is that you, Tanaka? All right. I like it. Okay. So, clearly, we have a studio filled with like-minded people right now, right? So, you can still research like this. This is a beautiful pot. Hey, Mike Gray, what's up, man? Bojo's not in here. We're on the OBS system. I'm going direct to YouTube without the restream. And I just haven't, I'm just learning it, so I haven't have him get a link to get in here yet. But he is a moderator now, so he's done really well. I've demoted him. Doesn't look natural. Yeah, so the way I determine, so I feel that it is very plausible, and I'll tell you why. Because if you look at your history and you learn about the indigenous Native American way and the way they used to do things, right? The indigenous native way, I should say. They used a lot of that technique for a lot of different reasons. And I made sure to reach out to Elder before I just went out talking about this stuff. You know what I mean? I knew about it reading history books, but history books can be bullshit because, the powers that be basically write them. So I'd rather check in with, someone with firsthand type knowledge and beliefs, right? And so that's what I had done. So I had watched a long time ago. So when I first came into this, it was a very hush-hush. Even 2 years ago when I came out of the closet type of thing, right? Before that, before you guys even knew of me, it was definitely not to be discussed because it wasn't scientific. If we're out here looking for something that's just basically scientific, yeah, good luck. That's not going to happen. The other thing is, think about this. What is the ocean like? 30% explored or something, or 30% known? That's the ocean, right? Everybody says, oh, but we can walk on the earth. Yeah, but how many? There's probably 60, 70% of the world's forests that are actually explored, right? Maybe a little higher. Even if it's 80, you still have 20% of it unexplored, and we have feet, planes, and all this other stuff. So, wait. I came out of the closet. I came out of the Bigfoot closet. That's what you never heard me say that? I think I said that on my very first episode, that I came out of the Bigfoot closet. Yeah, that was my expression. Because that's what it was like. People like Wojo that knew me forever, like, wait, what? He couldn't believe that I believed in Bigfoot, It's me, Mike Wojo. It's me, Mike. No, you said that wrong. It's me, Wojo, Mike. It's not me, Mike. Wojo. Oh, boy. So Mike, Stephen Woloszewicz is Wojo, in case you don't know. Wojo, did you place a bone for your buddy? Okay. All right. Can we get off that? So anyways, my point being is that I noticed a long time ago that on these trees that were bent strangely or twisted strangely, that there were these knuckles. I called them like thumb knuckles. And it was weird because they were all kind of like the width of my knuckle. And then the tree would spread out and there would be this little black circle kind of, oblong or whatever, right? Egg shape. And they were kind of spaced out on the tree. And I remember saying to a fellow researcher at the time, I go, look, I think this is a tree that was broken many times in order to keep growing in a certain direction. Put the darn link, sir? What am I putting a link in for? Couldn't tell in your first episode as everyone was talking. No, everybody wasn't like, let's clarify something, D-Hoot. Everybody was not talking at the same time. The new guy had Facebook open, YouTube open, and the platform that I was on open. Plus, I had StreamYard open. I had 4 things open. I only needed one, which was StreamYard, which was linked to all those things. So what you were hearing was 4 different setups talking all at once. Yes, it sounded like everybody was talking all at once, but that wasn't the case. It was me. So as soon as I started Xing the windows out, all that sound went away. And I almost had a nervous breakdown. It was amazing. Yeah, my first show was a blast. Yeah, what link does she talk about? Oh, I hope you like it. Well, the first time I saw you was when you fell on the ice. Yeah, that's a good time to pick up the show. They mark trails and out their feeding area, in and out of their feeding area, yep, and watering and different kinds of plants they use. That's different. I never heard that. And they mark their area for others to know that there is a clan here and who they are. I'm with my brothers, and they all say, you don't shut up, and you smell like Bigfoot. We all love you. Yeah, well, that's fine. That's a great description of me, actually. I don't shut up, and, yep, and I smell like Bigfoot. You got that right. Hi, brothers. Miss you guys. Can't wait to get you out in the woods and hang out with you. Show you my Tanaka. Best one ever, man down, right? Let's see. Don't forget to sub. Hey, excuse me, TG's EREK59er Sports. So here's my thing with the structures, right? As we're actually doing a little Bigfoot talking between you guys messing with me, which is fine. I love it. It's the best way to do a show of any kind. Is what I feel and believe is that not only do they do those things that Tim just mentioned, mocking where the water is, mocking where, the game trails are, where food is, whatever, where they kind of, roam through or whatever, or migrate through. Not only that, I feel that, and Mojo and I have discussed this and said it plenty of times on the live events that we do. We feel that they kind of corral the deer in certain ways. They'll make a big messy pile or something. We were out at the Murdoch, the spot where the graves are that D Hoot loves, that we haven't been back to since, even though she's requested it 100 times. Maybe because she always makes fun of me in my first show. Oh, sorry. Out there was one of the strangest things that I had found that was like a structure, but for resource, right? Now, not resources, meaning they're over here. This thing was its own resource. And we had walked through this pine grove, which we have all heard. If you haven't, there's a lot of history about the pine groves and, cedar groves, tree groves, basically, with Bigfoot and a lot of other animals. They like it for cover in the summer and in winter. The pine needles doesn't have as much snow on them, whatever it might be, leaves, pine needles. And the pine groves, they tend to keep a lot of their needles, throughout the year. So, and holly trees, I might add. So we walk through that. We come out on this little source of water. There's railroad tracks you can see right up here, like maybe 150 feet or whatever. I'm going to try to keep up with the, you need to trim your goatee. Who, me? I don't have a goatee. Well, it's kind of like a goatee. It's a beard. I just trimmed it. See, this is what I'm talking about. God damn it. Lucky I love you guys. So we came walking out of this pine grove, and we started finding these little piles of acorns in a pine grove, which was odd, right? And they were big piles. They were like some of them were this high and like that wide. And it was kind of like the trail of breadcrumbs, right? They had over here, and led up to this little spot. And in this little spot, and when I say little spot, it's about, I'd say, Mojo, correct me if I'm wrong, it's like 20 by 30, right? Not so little. But it was all broken like saplings and oaks and elms or whatever, just branches and, full saplings that were snapped at the ground and thrown in there. And in front of it, there was, of course, the pile of acorns. But between the pile of acorns and this particular looked like a bedding, basically, right? But it was like about 2.5 feet high, say. It was all kind of surrounded by thorns and briars, and it looked like something was trying to lead you up to that, And I sat there looking at it, and I'm thinking, wow, that's some kind of a device of some sort, like a trap, right? So you get up close to the acorns or whatever, you get snarled up in the thorns and, whatever, hopping around, and boom, next moment you don't got your footing, and you're in these branches, and you're stuck between these oaks and these pines, and, these saplings and all these branches. And I was sitting there thinking, wow, that's the strangest, most like intelligent type trap I've seen, if indeed it had to do with Sasquatch. But it was very weird. Roger, you remember that, right? I can't try to keep up. Structures may symbolize young ones, and that's true. I feel the same way, and I'll tell you why in a minute through research. Sir Richie, don't know who it is, but I'm keeping. I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't even know what that says. CEARN. Someone help me, please. Elder, you're just in a mood tonight. Excuse me. So I have two different screens going. One's slower, one's faster. Let's see. Not the area that we're in now. Oh, no, blue. I know a lot of people say that. We don't have. You smell like butt. Sorry, Elder. What is it? All right, who has broken into Elder's YouTube account and has taken over? Who has done such a thing? You there, unhand that YouTube account. Oh, what? Audrey on her account. Is that what she's saying? Oh, so yeah. Well, I knew. All right, I got that part. Question for you, sir. Have you ever smelt their footprint? No, but I've smelt them right after they made the footprint and ran by me about 60 feet away at dusk, scary as hell. And we did have a K2 meter in one of them, and the K2 meter was going off pretty good. And we've picked up some kind of radiation, not as high as I was originally told it would be, but it was something. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but I never gotten down there and sniffed one. But I have smelt a zinger wrapper. I have smelt a peanut butter jar. Definitely, those things stink. Those stink. All right. Anything else? So yeah, so when we walked up to that area and we had found that, we kind of followed the trail of acorns to this kind of briar, thorns that were kind of thrown, or as the southern friends of mine say, prickers, piles of them thrown up around, and then on the other side was that bedding, and then on the back side of that was water, and then a serious incline, maybe like 30 feet, but it was almost like straight up, and that's where the track bed was for the train. And so you had all the elements that you needed for the in and out, and you had nowhere to go if they were behind you in the pine grove and you walked through trying to eat these acorns. You had nowhere to go. So all they had to do was startle you, and you probably end up in that thing getting snarled up with your legs. I don't know. It was something that I thought was very interesting, and not anything that, I mean, a human would bait, right? But a human, if they're going to bait and they're trying to stay within legal range, maybe they use natural resources as opposed to bringing in tomatoes, apples, stuff like that. So there is that possibility that they used acorns and were trying to bait them. I don't know what the purpose would be of the bed and the thorns. Maybe shoot them and lay them down when they don't run away. That could be a very possibility, so you don't have to chase them and track them. But it was quite unique, and I've never seen anything like that as a hunter either. I don't know if there's any hunters out there that might have ever seen something like that. But it was pretty weird, and Wojo was standing right there, and if I remember correctly, he thought it was kind of weird as well, you know what I mean? What's up, Kurt W.? Let's see. Mama's daughter, and sometimes when she's there, his mama is cooking or moving around. Oh yeah. I know who of her. I haven't met her, but yeah, you could play around. Have a good time at my expense. I don't care. I do it all the time. So let me see. Correct, yeah. And that's what I was thinking was baiting. But when you go there, it could be human too, right? It just didn't seem where we were, the location we were at. And again, I don't know the reasoning for that. If you were going to be able to get behind them and they couldn't run off because there was laurels, water, and then that train incline. If there was I didn't see any deer stands in that area or cameras or anything like that, like we do in my area or our area. So I didn't chalk it up for a hunter, but I didn't eliminate it either. You know what I'm saying? It was very odd for someone to take their time out and strategically do something like that, But I looked at it from both points of view, which I usually do when I'm researching, right? You look at it from both points. There's some things you don't look at, right? Like an ice print, a print taken from the ice with a flash freeze and slush and stuff. Nobody's walking around barefoot. I don't care if you're an adult or you're not an adult or anybody. You know what I mean? You're just not going through their Bigfoot. It's not barefoot. It's not happening. So that was very, very interesting, right? Like bears do. What do bears do? Oh, let me see. We know deer will go through thorn bushes. Yep. However, also we know they bed in them. But definitely sounds like a kill. It did sound like a kill spot. they need is a second of just exactly, and that's one of the things I wanted to get to. So, I've always had this theory because I came out on my game trail years ago, and there's little snippets of my story that is so many little snippets that I haven't told them all yet. This one I've told like maybe a half dozen times, and the game trail came out and around like this, and then you went into this big opening, and then there was the 94 acres of everything, all kinds of terrain, and I remember one fall, I came around the corner. I walked up the game trail, right? It's a little windy. And then you get into the opening, and then as you're going out into the woods, there's like a game trail still there, but it kind of got split apart with this big wide opening. So I walked through there. I looked to the left of me, and there was this, it looked so unnatural. It was wild. It was like this fresh, like pine tree. I didn't have any reason for it to be there. And it was kind of stacked up like this, like up high, I'd say about 8 feet high, 9 feet high. And it was an opening. And there was another natural bush here, and then there was like stuff piled up on the other side that looked like it was brought there. I come around that, and I'm walking right on the path, and I remember I froze and I looked at the opening. It was a big opening, like wide as my studio, really. And but I walked in, and you could kind of stand and look around. And that's what I did. I can't click on anything. Don't make me do that. If I click on it, I'm leaving. I'm going to that page. This is not Restream. So I was like, yeah, let's get them names up on the screen. Bye! So I came up to that, and I stood in it, and that's when it first hit me, kind of like what Mooncat just said. They come around the corner, and all you got to do is set up a couple of sticks or whatever, and they just kind of stop, and then they step over or whatever. If they're not already prancing, they're probably going to think before they do, a lot of times, at least from what me and Mojo's trail camera teaches us, right? And I envisioned a forearm, coming across and just snapping them right at the knees and disabling them, right? They can do whatever they want at that point. Take them back to the house and cook them up, make some soup, a little bit of venison sausage, whatever they do, right? Eat them right there. I don't think that's the case, but, they could, And I think they carry them away more than where they killed them is what I'm saying. Unless they're in a fight, to actually get them, and something's being a little aggressive and trying to fight back or run away, then you're probably gonna maul them and eat them right there. Who knows? But so they snap the legs, and I referred to that, and I have ever since, as an ambush hut. It was right on the corner. Girls don't take any poop from anyone. I wasn't giving any poop, though. That's the problem, Elder. I was getting pooped on, literally, but it was fun. So that's what I considered an ambush hut at that point. I was kind of sold on that. The theory was put into my head, and then I researched that theory further. And for me, it showed up in a bunch of other places. It was very similar. And what's that say? No, plus, of course, bear use gullies and valleys to confuse game. Yeah, so just to clarify, we don't really have bear here. I've been in these woods 10 years. I haven't seen bear print, poop, nothing. Haven't heard, saw, seen, whatever you want to call it. None, ever. I have, however, seen it locally in the area, going from one town through to other towns, and they would broadcast them on the TV and put it on Facebook, and I've said that many times. It's such a rare occasion here, the news is called in. You see a bear up in New Hampshire or whatever, Western Mass, they're like, hey, yeah, okay, yeah, we live amongst you, hi, bear. It's no big deal. You don't really hear about it, unless they run out in front of you like a dare or something, So we don't have that. So that's not a factor for me. I shouldn't say it isn't a factor. It's a less than 1% factor, to be fair, right? And to stay rational and not yell at everything's Bigfoot. So that's where my mind goes in that sense, And like the bones that I have here, these to me are equated to the theory I just spoke to you about, right? Right? These are shattered, snap bones. We don't have things around here that do that. And even just say, I'll play your less than 1% black bear. Not very big, by the way. Just say he's on top of it, right? And he's holding it down, and he's pulling it with his mouth and his teeth, right? He's doing that. I don't have any teeth marks in this. Or in this. No teeth marks. Or in this. No teeth marks. And I got about 30 others over here that I don't have any teeth marks in. So, that leads me to go, okay, what creature's big enough in my area, in our geographical location, to rip that in half with its hands? Because you can't do it with a paw, right? Bambi's not doing it. That's the next biggest bear, biggest animal, big buck. He's not doing it. So you have to go to, whoa, how the hell did this happen? How did this happen? And I remember when I first picked one of these up, and that's exactly where my mind went. I looked at it and I said, how the hell did that happen? Right? I have no idea. And you got to draw your own conclusions, I guess, right? Everybody's trying to message me. I think a friend of mine was sick. Hang on. It don't matter. Nothing does. Yeah, no. And like I said, I got other ones over there. For example, I can show you. And I'm going to say there's a couple here that have. There's two that have full marrow, and there's two that has like 3/4 marrow taken out. The other ones are empty, like a seashell. You can hear the sea in it. You know what I mean? When you hold it up to your ear, there's nothing in it. It is empty. So that tells me, in order to get it that clean of bone marrow, you have to get it when it first happens, right? Within a couple hours. You can look it up and research it. How long does it take bone marrow to harden in the bone once the body's dead? If you like. It's kind of a morbid take, but you got to drink it. They don't have straws out there. You know what I mean? Let's see. Oh, how'd this happen? Oh, not bad. Right? Yeah, so I'm gonna hit the hearts on my own show. Look at I like this. It's totally cheating. I just can't hype it. Let's see, don't matter now. So yeah, so that's my point of structures. Is I believe that they are used for hunting, corralling, changing direction of the game trail, the existing game trail that's been there. And not only that, a lot of them are taken away or broken, or structures are destroyed. I have evidence of structures being destroyed. The dream catcher was destroyed. The dream catcher, 40-foot oak elm, whatever the hell that was, bent over in like a half moon, buried underneath some trees. You couldn't hold that thing down with just logs. They had to be big trees, which led me to believe, boy, they're knocking down some pretty big trees, because I don't know, or they picked the spot where they wanted to do it because the big trees were already on the ground. I don't know. Either is plausible, I think. And it was about 12 feet high. You couldn't reach it from the ground, at my height anyways. It was about 12 feet high in the middle peak. It was about 14 to 16 inches around. It was bent. And then all these other trees were kind of stuck like a design of, like, say, a wagon wheel, some people called it. To me, it's a dream catcher. One of these days I'm going to figure out, I'm almost certain I can get a source in here. Now, you know what? I'm not going to screw around with that. I'll screw around with that when I'm by myself. I did? What do you mean? You popped up an ad? Oh, is that what happened? Oh, okay. Nothing to do with anybody else. Oh, Jesus. You can't hear me when there's an ad? How am I supposed to know when there's an ad? What do I do? Should I just go on YouTube Live and F all the OBS stuff directly? I just won't have backgrounds or anything to play. Maybe I'll just do that. Later, Tyler. Oh. Okay. Yeah, the Bruins are on, aren't they? Yep. They're playing Carolina. That's who they're playing. Damn it. Let me see. Oh, yeah. No, she texted me, too. So yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just do that. I don't know because I don't want you guys to be troubled with ads. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. So that's what we believe, and then we got to a place. Well, I originally got to a place in my backyard. In my backyard, it was way out beyond my property. Actually, it was way out, and I remember hearing all the cracking, snapping, all that stuff. And well, I don't see them. Oh yeah, Tyler. Good night. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, so I remember hearing all the cracking and popping and snapping. I hear it during the day constantly, like somebody had a construction site, but it was way out, man. And my hearing's really good. But I could hear it, and it was consistent. And there was a lot of snapping, a lot of breaking. Too far away for vocals, I guess, unless they whooped. But anyways, through my research as time went on, and I got a little braver, a little more comfortable, I ventured out to where I was hearing the noises. This was after the tree came down and all that. And I was just curious, because when that tree came down and I heard what I heard, saw what I saw, that whole area flashed in my head. I'm like, oh my God, all that breaking I heard, blah, blah, blah. So I go out there, and there's probably 100 pine trees all over the place, scattered. Some are at 90s, some are at X's. None of them have bark on them. Actually, a couple had bark, but it was partial bark. Not a lot of bark on the ground to really, to really say, oh, this is the spot where this should have been tons of bark on the damn ground. And there wasn't. It was less than 10% of what I was looking at. I guarantee it. And Mojo can account for that too. We've seen that as well. I'm finally done with some of my orders. I will be shipping them out soon. Why, thank you. Dare can be fooled once, but catch on to ambush so they have. Correct. Very good, Lori. You're correct. I feel you're correct. How's that, to be fair? That's what I was saying. They destroy these things. Ambush hut was destroyed, did not last a long time there. These corrals that we found, you go back and they're on the ground. They're not 2 feet off the ground anymore. But, in this particular areas that I have found, this is the point I'm getting to, the high school, the college, the now university, and these other locations, they're not destroying them, right? And they're not destroying what we've walked under and looked at. And if they are, it's very minimal. I know there's a couple different trees that were 90s. I think that one we found that Wojo walked up on the stump because I asked for a new fresh set of eyes, and he was like, oh, there's that stump. That one there has been basically I don't even know where it is anymore. Trying to find you on Facebook and couldn't remember how to spell your last name. Who, me? Anybody can go over to my Banter with Richie B Facebook page. That would be excellent. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers over there. So Banter with Richie B, Bigfoot Banter with Richie B, however you want to say it. Bigfoot's just a nickname. It's not the encrypted name. So you can put in either and you can find me. Just follow me over there too, please. And you can message me on Messenger there if you have questions about the show, the research. You want to be a guest on the show. You have a story about Bigfoot you want to tell. I have been thinking about, it's not my biggest thing, but locally I think it's important. Taking eyewitness accounts, doing interviews, things like that. And that's one of the things I kind of want to get into. We were talking about library tour and things like that, and we're building up to that. So those things are important as well, and I need to include them in. So we'll be doing, I think, some of those probably in the spring or something like that. Wojo, yeah, good luck with that. Just slow roll. So Wojo, just stay there, don't move. Don't anybody say anything. Well, my last name's not easy either, okay? Jeez. It's tough being the favorite, isn't it, Wojo? So when we got to these areas, this place was wiped out. And I remember standing there looking around, and thank God my rational brain kicked in, and I'm looking and looking and looking. I knew what I heard. I knew the location I was standing in was the sounds were coming from that location. I knew that because I've owned this property for a while, and I knew that. But I had to research and investigate it, right? So I didn't just get all crazy with it. So that's what I did. I remember standing there, looking around, looking at the trees, looking at the possibilities, wondering why that was the only area, say 100 foot by 100 foot, 1,000 square feet of trees knocked over in all these different directions, not just like wind came through and blew them all to the east or to the south or whatever. Not like that. Every which way. And then there were 90s in there. Then there was different like X's and different angles. Just all these different things, man. I mean, you could look through that. I was a bit of a novice then, so I couldn't tell you if there was an asterisk there, to be honest with you. I couldn't tell you any of that stuff. I gave them little simple names. And then as I stood there, I was looking at the trees were like say small to medium. Small not being, they were tall. They weren't thick round. And I remember looking at them going, that don't make any sense, And I'm like trying to figure out how the wind would just pick on that one spot. And when the wind picked on that one spot, how did it change direction so much that all these trees are in all these different directions and ended up where they are? They were landing on other trees. The other trees weren't breaking. The wind's blowing. There's this force coming down from above. And even if you're a 90-pound tree, say, right, which is a very small number for that, just say it is, and it comes down and it's not breaking branches. There's no other broken, fresh, dead, fresh breaks of dead branches or something off of pine trees that they should have hit. All these things were coming into my head. There was no bark. There was no bark on the ground. And the first thing that came to my mind was, it wasn't the corral part. It wasn't the game part where the deer runs through there and it's a trap. The first thing that came to my head was, oh my God, they're educating. That was the first thing that came to my head. I said that, and so I named it the high school, and because of the size of the trees and the lessons that it looked like were being taught there. And then like 2 or 3 weeks later, I was out with a fellow researcher, and we found this another area where these big, there's these big oaks, like 5 or 6 of them, and there were all these little sticks like this big. About that big, almost the same size, some smaller, some bigger, going around these trees, standing up at the trunk, all the way around. And then there were these little, like, it looked like letters or something on the compost, right? And so I sat there. That place was amazing. That was right by the little brook to the left side of the opening on my property, Wojo, down about 100 yards. An area we don't really go to. We probably should, though. And that was over there, and I called that the kindergarten because it was smaller structures, right? So that's what kind of got me going on structures, because it wasn't just about the science and all that stuff that people talk about. It was about these 2 areas, right? It was about the 2 areas, and then putting that together with my experience with that tree being snapped in half, basically, less than 60 yards from me, whatever it was, and hearing all that footfall after getting growled at through the trees, through the bushes, not being able to see it. That was wild. I put all those things together and I realized that they were the ones doing it. So for me, structures were very real. They were the first piece of evidence that I had to tie into a physical action that took place on my property. Like I said, 60, 70 yards from me on a perfectly sunny day in October, around 2 in the afternoon. But what do I know? Wildlife rehabilitator, had 20 acres and raised plenty of deer and learned their behavior. That's awesome to know. Ha! Ha! Lori, I feel attacked. The only time they are dumb is a buck in a rut. Every man in this room should feel attacked right now. That's awesome. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Awesome, man. Hey, thanks a lot, Moon. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. No doubt. Everybody, like, subscribe, check out Moon Cat Paranormal. Everybody help each other out, lift each other up. That's what we do here, man. We're not gatekeepers. We share, and we don't shit on each other. Especially as researchers, right? Well, especially as people, first of all, but, We shouldn't, anyways. That's preaching to the choir, I guess. Pissing in the wind. That's what I was trying to say. Excuse me, Rich did teed my comment. No, I will teed it in a moment. Let me look. I have to go back up. Richie, do you want me to send you a few dream catches? I would never say no to anything that you create. You're an amazing person and creator, and I'm blessed. Yeah, so everybody check out Elder Medicine Bear Claw. Please like and subscribe, follow her. I know a bunch of you do. I'm just going to say it anyways, so when this gets out to the world eventually, they can say that. They can see it. Elder Medicine Bear Claw has a ton of different things that she does. Necklaces and bracelets and smudge kits and medicine bags and just so many things. Dream catchers. Just absolutely blessed to have her in our life. And, yeah, you would want something directly from a Blackfoot elder that's made with blessings and love. You definitely want to get a hold of her. So Elder Medicine Bear Claw, please. Everybody, make sure all your friends know. Hey, Christmas is coming, man. Get something nice. Get something different, right? Right? Get yourself a Banter Richie B hat. Get yourself a medicine bag. You know what I mean? Think about it, right? Take a little bear root. You're not feeling good at the family party, right? Boom, bada bing, done. Spocky, it's so hot. Every time I look over, I want to click that link, But yeah, so the two craziest structures I ever found, one was the 40-foot X. You'll find that on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel. The 40-foot X, I estimated to at least be 40 feet, and it was perfectly symmetrical in the middle. Absolutely perfect, like a machine stood this thing up. I followed it up and down. There's no way the stumps lined up correctly to land where they did. They landed on very small twig-sized branches at the top. And not only that, on this particular 40-foot, this X was, to me, was different. Besides the interlocking X, the interlocking X is definitely up there. Probably top 3. This X was like this, but it had 2 dead pines coming straight down. So the X top would lay on it like this. And, they would meet. And each one of them had one at the top that they were laying on. And then there was another, like, huge branch or a big branch, say 10, 12 feet long, going across just below where the symmetrical part of the X met and was leaning. But it was straight through. And if you looked up, there was no way that branch came down and landed there. Zero chance. It was just too much cover. That was wild. Wojo's seen that thing, right? The X and water. Yeah, that's pretty fascinating. So that was up there. That's number 2. The interlocking X is number 3. And any interlocking X I find, I just stuff them right into 3, 3A, 3B, 3C, whatever. Interlocking X's are absolutely not Mother Nature. There's no way. And the only reason why you don't go 100% is the human element, right? Which is, to me, is 0.01% that a human did it. And some of these I've seen the humans couldn't do it. So anyways, there's that touch of possibility. With that 40-foot X, there was no touch of possibility. There's no way a human did it. No way. There's no way the wind did it. Zero chance. And, of course, the dream catcher. The dream catcher is probably the most amazing thing I've ever seen as far as that goes. Thank you, Sparky. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And he's right. Elder has earrings, necklaces, wristbands, hat bands. That's right. I forgot about all those because I don't wear the cowboy hats. But all that stuff. Sparky probably has the best kick-ass hat in the paranormal world. It's a cowboy hat. And it has Jackson, our logo Jackson, patch in the middle. And then Elder made him a hat band to go around it. What a piece of work that thing is, right? Absolutely amazing. So, very blessed. I'm always happy when I see Sparky on talking on his lives and he's wearing that hat because I know that to me that's a special hat. That's me and Elder kind of together, right, with a friend. So yeah, I love that stuff. That's the stuff I'm symbolic in a way. The Water X was interesting mainly, Damien, because shortly after discovering it, it was gone. And you've seen that river flow. There's not enough river flow there to be ripping trees apart. So, Elder have an online store or how to order a medicine bag. So what I would do is, I believe, well, she has an email, correct? She has an email. Had his love and family, you're right. She does have an email. It's something about Pretty Eyes. Something about her one got hacked and she had to use that email. But yes, you can reach out to her through email. I think she has, does she have a Facebook we follow her on as well? Email or message her on Facebook. So, and it's under Elder though, right? Because she has the, so I follow her there as well. Yeah, so the easiest way to message anybody is if they have a Facebook page, just go there and hit the messenger. I mean, it's so easy. You know what I mean? So, again, if you're not following me on Bigfoot Banter Richie B on Facebook, please do. So if you have a question, you have an idea for a show, you want to come on the show, you have an encounter you want to share, privately, audio on the show, or on camera sitting there, please come and join us and do that. We would love to hear your story, love to get your account, love to share it with the world if indeed you're ready to. It took me a long time to be ready, so I totally get it. But yeah, go over there and get medicine bags, man. Whew, dude, they're awesome. So they've come in handy. That bear root definitely has come in handy a bunch of times. And then of course the dream catcher to me was number one. There's just zero chance to me. I had a guy say one time, it was the most profound thing. Now let's do a little percentage thing, right? Here's the percentages, right? You got the wind, right? So say weather. You have humans and you have Bigfoots, right? And you have a boat, I don't know, I'd say close to a 50-foot tall, oakish, elmish, whatever the hell it was, 14 to 16 inches in diameter, pulled from the top, bent but not broken, pulled down, placed underneath two trees that are strong enough to hold it there, and now the arch at the peak is 12 feet off the ground. Then you have up to, I'd say 15 safely, we'll call it a dozen if you want, other pine trees strategically placed to look like spokes, or a dream catcher, which is what I like to refer it to, because it looks like the top half of a dream catcher, like if you cut the dream catcher in half, right? Or you buried half in the dirt and let the other half stand up. That's what it reminded me of. And again, I have pictures of that you can check out. And placed all them strategically in a spot where you could see it, but you kind of had to make it was almost like those old decoder stuff things they used to put in toys back in the day. I never got one, just so you know. I was a little bit before my time, but it looked like you kind of had to be in a certain position to understand what it was and what it said or what it meant or whatever that is. That was wild. Zero chance. That was an absolute zero for me as far as weather goes, as far as human goes. So I had a guy say to me one time when I told that story, he called me an idiot. I was on one of the regular Facebook pages that I don't partake in particularly anymore, except to watch other people and get ideas or nice people to reach out to and make friends with, or I don't really post in them anymore, unfortunately, because people like him. I don't know his name. I wouldn't tell you if I did. Well, maybe I would. We'll just call him piece of shit .com. And he attacked me and said that I was being fooled, wait for this, by a group of kids. I was being fooled by a group of kids. So my reply to him was, and I don't particularly want to go back and forth, was, so you're telling me the believability percentage rating, however you want to look at it, of teenagers doing what I just explained to you guys with a come-along and an engineering degree, or out in the woods, like out in the woods, in the thick of the woods, swamp, peat moss, skunk cabbage, thorns, all kinds of things. They were out there making this dream catcher to mess with me. Yeah, let that sink in for a moment. Go ahead. I'll wait. Oh, I'm going to get copyright. Better stop. They were out in the woods to mess with me, making that structure. I said, that's what you believe. And I said, you know what? Now I don't even feel insulted by anything you said. I apologize that I got offended and lashed out at you. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, only someone that does have like an IQ like 2 would ever think that that was more plausible than Bigfoot. Seriously. Like seriously, like you have to have an IQ of 2, and I felt that I was lashing out at somebody that didn't have the capability to think properly. And I did. I felt terrible. And afterwards, but I was pissed at the moment. And a bunch of people kind of lashed out at him as well. That was just ridiculous. And this is what we talk about, right? We talk about having a conversation. Now, if that man approached me in a different way and wanted to have a intelligent conversation about the possibilities, yeah, right? There's no way, right, Lori? No way. The possibilities of what could have made it, and you could have come at me and asked me, because I'm the one who stood in front of it. You have no idea how far out in the woods it was. You have no idea of the terrain that someone had to traverse to get out to this location. You had no idea why you look up and go, that's the tree I'm going to work with. Because I'm a human and I take the least path of a resistance. I don't know if you noticed. But that, oh yeah, that's the Da Vinci. That's it, right? And I know there's got to be a house like at least a mile from here that's going to see it. Fucked. Crazy. But if he had had that bizarre conversation in a respectful manner, I would have respectively rebutted everything he said. Everything. Rich, they built that to return the energy back to the earth, and they visit it. I think that's a great theory that I've never heard. What's up, Tubin? Such a good-looking dude. No homo. Hello, everyone. You'll get to hear that too much, that phrase. It's a funny one, though. Welcome, Tubin. Good to see you, man. I'm on OBS setup on YouTube Direct. So, yeah, we're working on, getting my boy, my brother, and my co-host in here. Eventually, I got to figure out how to do all that, so... Agree. I love that. I think that's a great theory, Tim. I love that, and I'm sorry if I called it a theory. I'm not trying to insult anybody. I haven't researched it myself, and I'm not going to gravitate to anything until I grab it and hold it and touch it and think it on my own. The theory is presented to me, and now I can go look at it and say, wow, you know what? And it makes sense. It makes more sense than, that's a portal. I'm like, I just don't think a portal's made out of trees, bro. That's just me. I've been around the paranormal world and things like that. Mirrors make sense, stuff like that. Energy fields, energy sources, all those make sense. High tension lines, they all make sense to kind of help that portal open up. I'm just not at the portal part. But putting the energy back to the earth, showing a tribute to Mother Earth, being Sasquatch, a friend of the indigenous native people of this land, that right there is something I'm gonna think about. I'm gonna grab that and think with that. I like that, and this is why I love doing what we do, because we're researching, right? We kid around, we joke, we have fun. But that right there, man, you just gave me goosebumps, bro. That is something that I could get into. So I appreciate that, bro. Your video is great. Your audio is louder than on your normal live, so maybe back up like an inch off the mic.
No, I don't think I'm going to back up now that you told me to, because I do everything the opposite I've ever been told.
So, and I'm sure it's going to dumb down anyways when it goes to YouTube. So, they mess everything up. How about if I just talk in a sultry voice, and I'll be known as the sultry Bigfoot research guy on YouTube. Good? Right. Yep. Why not, though? Why not? How many times did you sat here and listen and talk with Elder Medicine Bear Claw? And she talks about Mother Earth. And she talks about giving back to Mother Earth. and respected Mother Earth. We do tobacco prayers, tobacco that she has sent us, that's blessed and by the elders, and we give it back to the earth. Why not, man? Right? What, right about here? How's this? What if I do this once in a while? Bigfoot. 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 That'll be fun. We got all kinds of things we can play. That's why I told you to hug a tree. Yes, and I have done that many times. And I've been in the meditation. I've been a sensitive my whole life. Borderline, medium and all that. I went to mediumship and all that. I went to a class of mediumship and I had a really bad experience, and it was too close to when I lost my son, and I've shied away from it ever since. So I was way too emotional with too many wires crossed to be there. So I pulled away from that. But my point being is I'm very familiar with meditation and, being grounded, how to get grounded, all that stuff. So when you guys say that, though, it's a good reminder, because we got to remember, we got to remind each other sometimes, right? We get caught up in the moment where, and to have somebody like Lori to say, hey, yo, go hug a tree, bro. Nothing wrong with that, right? And I walk up to the tree and say, I'm going to hug you. No homo. YouTube said to me, Tubin said to me, oh my God, that's funny. Hey, have you noticed there's no freezing and glitching? I told you it was Restream. Nobody believed me. No freezing and glitching. Not once have I froze and, oh, oops, you lost your connection and everybody else is still talking. Garbage. What is it? Hot in here? Or is it just me? Oh, it's hot. Sky is space alignment. Ooh. See, Damien, that's why I wish I had you around back then. And that's why I wanted to build a community like we have, right? I wanted to build a community because we're all critical thinkers, right? Like Tim just came up with that, Lori added to it, and now you've added to that. And now we have this beautiful theory and something that makes sense. And if you think about it, a lot of the arches could be for that, right? A lot of the arches. The rectangle structures that Wojo and I have found that are connected to arches could also be that, could be all those things. Energy-wise, giving back to Mother Earth, all that stuff could all be, it all makes sense to me, man. It all makes sense. And it's only because we have a community and we talk to each other respectfully and we don't shit on each other and go, now if I just looked at Tim and Tim said that, I go, you okay, weirdo? What's that going to get us? He gets mad, we're arguing, we never have this discussion. Exactly. What a beautiful, beautiful point. I always catch you guys late. That's all right, man. I'm just chilling, bro. It's just me. I'm trying out a new system rather than like Restream and StreamYard. I just feel that they kind of don't distribute our stuff properly, and they kind of they dictate how many views you get, and they're just not. I just want to be open to the world, right? Open to YouTube, and I'm ready to kind of kick the door down and be like, all right, listen, this is how we do things over here. These are my people. This is my community, my family right here. And we're going to come at you with peace, love, and happiness and push out the old way of doing this research, right? Push out the old way of, research is, basically kill each other with I don't know what they say. The paranormal eats their own, right? And that's the way this community is getting at times. There's only a few pockets of them, and we had the old guard here around New England and Massachusetts, and I thought very highly of them. I really did. I put them on a pedestal, I'll admit, and I was humbled when I found out they weren't who I thought they were or wanted them to be. Like a little kid in an after-school special, you're just like, oh, Mr. Jones, really? He's a boozer, It was upsetting, It was upsetting, and I was okay with it because after I came to terms with it, and some of them I held on a little bit longer before I ex-nayed them. Ex-nay on the poop stay. You know what I mean? Got rid of them, blocked them, all that stuff. Because, I had said this a long time ago, and I said it to Wojo in my podcast team, and, Sam has heard it, even her being the newer member of the team, and Bobby Lee, the executive producer and my business partner. And we're going to make our own way. You know, and Bobby Lee even said that to me. We were on a platform when we started. She goes, you're going to outgrow them, dude. There's no way. There's no way you're going to stay on there. And I'm like, yeah, let's stay as long as we can. And I did. I stayed as long as I could. I tried to be as loyal as I could. But some things were just too negative. And I couldn't stay no more. I don't want the negativity, you know. The negativity welcomes death a lot faster than you were supposed to die. Let's put it that way. Negativity's the devil, man. I don't know if Sam's here. She was in and out. Talk with Elder. She is on the phone right now. She'll be back later. All right, thank you. I'm staying on a few more minutes. I want to watch the Bruins and stuff. The only thing is I got to figure out how to do this quicker. Well, you know what happened was there was two different ways, Sparky, that was being taught on how to load the OBS. So you can load the OBS through the OBS and bring it to the OBS, or you can go into YouTube and pick OBS. And no, I had no idea. I found a video that did that, and it walked me right through it, dude. Boof, studio. Love it. Good stuff. Don't mind my eating. That burger was pretty good. And I didn't mind the jalapeno ketchup. Had a little kick to it. So, I guess my suggestion in closing to you would be is, why are you sorry, Sam? She's the sweetest, dude. The sweetest. One of the best humans ever. I don't know how I got so lucky. You know? I was so intimidated by Sam's talent that I was afraid to ask her to be my producer. Seriously. And when I did, she was like, oh my God, I'd be so honored. I'm like, what? Yeah, we know. That's what moms do. Listen, you're talking to a guy that was a single dad, so I celebrated Mother's Day and Father's Day for many years. Many years. We do notice when you're not here, though. Just know that. That's the important part, right? Yeah, Sam's one of my favorite humans God ever made. That's the truth. 100%. Yep. What do they say? Salt of the earth. But, excuse me. But yeah, so, you know, with structures, I say this. And this theory seemed to have worked for me, and even the naysayers kind of stopped and thought and went, that's a good way of doing it. People that told me that, you know, they weren't scientific enough and all that stuff, you know. For me, I start at the top of a structure. I look all the way up. And I stare. And I kind of look around. And I get a baseline, just like you would in the paranormal world. You get a baseline, right, of the sounds in the houses and stuff before you start your EVP sessions. And if you don't, you should. You get a baseline of the temperature, right? And if you don't, you should. You got to have a starting point, and that's my baseline. And that's where that comes from, the paranormal world. And that's my baseline. Up at the top of a structure is my baseline. And I work my way down. And sometimes I'll have a question, and I got to look around because I got to match the environment to my question, right? Or make sure it matches to the environment, right? And I look, and I work my way down. And I started 100% weather. 100% weather did this, Rich. 100%. Prove me wrong. And that's what I do. I prove myself wrong. I tell myself it's 100% weather, and I'm going to prove myself wrong. And I work my way from the top down, and I go in percentages, right? And we have all these little techniques. Dude's taking a break from that. She's junky. She plays those games on her phone, you can tell. She's like a pro. She's like, oh yeah, I did 1.235 million. And I work my way down. So if a tree fell and it's like fat and it comes down and it's up there resting on a twig 20 feet up, and the twig's like this, and the trunk is fairly fresh, it hasn't been sitting there, right? I know it hasn't been there that long enough to have that branch die off and fall, or die off and become skinny, right? None of that. It didn't break it on the way down and continued to the ground. How is that tree that's 1,000 times heavier Again, not a scientist. I'm just giving an idea. 1,000 times heavier than that twig. How is that? How is that twig not broken? So I put a percentage in my head. Okay, that's 25% off, right off the top. 25% taken away from weather. So now weather's down to 75%. And that's what I do. And I work my way all the way down. And I go for every little bits and pieces of percentages and every little thing. And in my head, and I make up the percentages as I go. I'm just trying to be fair. What am I hearing? I hear the dog barking. It sounds like someone's knocking. No, maybe not. Could just be the acid from the 80s. Yeah, so, and then I work myself all the way to the ground. Whatever. And as soon as I get below 50%, weather loses. It's ruled out. It's ruled out and either needs to be researched further. You collect data and look for the same thing down the road and see if there's a repetitive type motion. And that's it. That's, for me, it will always work best. It's not Bigfoot. And it's a great way to educate yourself, right? And not only that, Roger will tell you, we have his buddy that's down in Georgia, and he's basically an arbitrist type professor for the University of Georgia, and he studies trees. He studies what happens to trees with disease and all kinds of things. And so he looks at trees all day, 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, whatever he works. And he has looked at a lot of our stuff and has been dumbfounded. Wow, I have no idea how that happened, dude. So he could be a percentage breaker for us. You know, so if we're teetering around 49 and 51 and they're battling back and forth and we throw it his way and he's never seen it, boom, this percentage come crashing down for weather. So just a thought and a theory. You could try it. You know what I mean? You know what's funny is, oh, there it is. I just figured it out already. I think I said hi. Sorry about that. No, you did. Everybody said hi. Lots of love. So anyways, yeah, that's my theory on structures. I do believe that they are manipulated pieces of Mother Nature done with thumbs. I do believe that. I'm willing to take the criticism. I'm willing to have the discussion with anybody that will step up and have that discussion. I'm willing to show any bit of my photos / commas, evidence, air quotes, whatever you want to say, and go picture by picture and explain exactly how, you know, what I think happened, and feel that I don't need to come out on top, but I feel that it would open their eyes and their mind and their soul a little bit to the fact that Sasquatch is using something from Mother Earth to gather resources, right, to corral food, to mark areas where food lives, but he's not trying to kill it all the time. A lot of them are twisted 180. I have a 360 picture. All those things, right? I will definitely love to have that conversation as long as it's respectful, or I'll just shut it down and I won't even give him any of that. What I feel is knowledge, you know. And hopefully I'd learn something as well the other way, you know. So I believe, and I've said this from a long time. You can watch my podcast in the beginning, way back. Now going on 2 years actually in a couple weeks. I believe that they should be included in the evidence. Period. Like a print, like hair, like whatever. Yeah, you have different levels of evidence. You know what I mean? You just do. DNA trumps everything, they say, even though we supposedly don't have anything in our DNA collection that would say Bigfoot, but yet DNA is supposed to be the thing that gets us over the top. Is it though? You know? Is it? That's a conversation for another day. And maybe we'll have a conversation on that another day. Unscrew a jar lid without using thumbs. Yeah, I know, really, right? Yeah. No, we have all that stuff too. Yep, absolutely. Best show Richie had was your birthday. Dehu, yeah, out in the woods, you mean? Yeah, that was crazy. But I guess kids were out there. Yeah, they're out there with headlamps. Oh, yeah. Brave kids, I'll tell you. Yep, you can go that way anytime you want, right? And people use it at the ready just to kind of rebut you and make you look stupid, and that's what's crazy, you know. That's what's sad. You know, if they didn't find it, It's not real. You know, if they didn't think that theory, then it can't be plausible. All these things. And it's just silly and stupid. And that'll always be my message here. My message here is always to research kindly, respect one another, right? So Wojo and I, on my way out, I'm going to stop streaming in a minute, but on my way out, I wanted to say Wojo and I did some amazing filming this past Saturday right here in my home with Susan Ahern, The Happy Medium. Check her out on YouTube. And Daniel Groom, director and producer of Stonegate, award-winning paranormal movie on Amazon Prime. They're both local. We did some amazing filming. We made some amazing friends. I really, really believe that there's a lot of good things coming in the future. Obviously, I want to see the end results, and those types of things you don't really get to look at it first. You know what I mean? So it's on them, right? But I trust them, and I haven't been able to do that with anybody with a camera and a title of producer or director. So these people are different and special, and I'm super excited to be their friends, and I'm super excited to be able to work with them, and I'm super excited to be able to possibly share my whole story with them down the road. If it's not them, then it's myself. You know, I'll make something myself, you know, but it's going to come, and we're all going to share it. So, and we're all going to hear about it. So hopefully down the road, that was super awesome. It was an awesome experience with awesome people, man. So we'll let you know when it's coming out on Amazon Prime. It is part of a series. We're in a segment, not a segment, but one of the episodes. It's like a 6-part series. I don't know all the details, and I'm not going to throw anything out there too heavy that, you know, they don't want me to. But anyways, that's what it's about, and we're honored to be a part of it. So that was a lot of fun on Saturday. Yeah, I see that D Breezy TV. What's up? Check out, that's my nephew, man. Go check him out. So yeah, we got a lot of wonderful things happening and coming up. Today is Monday. I haven't even thought about the show on Saturday, honestly. Probably going to be an in-house show. Maybe we'll bring up another panel of people come in or whatever. I don't know. You know, I'm going to start scheduling again out for the holidays, because the holidays are coming, so you got to get people here and there. So I'll start scheduling out. But this Saturday will probably be just Wojo and I, and whoever else might want to join us. Reach out to me if you want to be on the show and hang out. I do have a list of people that are coming on. It's just a matter of them picking dates, at least 6, 7, or 8 of them. The 23rd, which I believe is this Sunday, we're going to be guests on The Paranormal Voice with Dale Quigley. I don't know if Michael John's part of that still, but either way, they're brothers, and they're our brothers. Dale Quigley, Michael John, Paranormal Voice out of Canada. We're going to be guests there, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on The Paranormal Voice. So make sure you catch us over on The Paranormal Voice, all right? And other than that, this has been fun. It's been interesting. I appreciate your patience. I wish I'd got to it a little bit sooner, because it's going to 8 o'clock. And I know you all got plenty of wonderful things to do on a Monday night besides listen to me. So, let's see. Oh, look at all that. It looks like a fucking infomercial over there, Sparky. What is going on? Good Lord. Anybody want to say anything before Sparky snaps again? Any questions at all about structures? Anything at all? Anybody? Anybody got anything to say on my way out? Did I miss a comment of yours? Because with this setup, it's different. I have to really stare at that screen over there. So now that I know that the mic works good, I can do my setup a little better when I do it this way. So I'm just learning, so bear with me. It is easier for people to think we are crazy because they don't have the courage to do the things we do to find out the truth. And that is an amazing statement. Thank you. Rather than just saying we're crazy. Everyone have a great night. Yeah, home of the Bolton. He's trying to get rid of me. That's okay, Aldo. I'm going to get going. I'm going to go spend some time with the family, get the little ones to bed. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and, of course, YouTube. My co-host, Wojo, my brother, my brother researcher, Wojo. Thank you, Sparky, for everything. Elder, thank you. Everybody, Sam, my producer, thank you for being here. D-Hoot, you rock. Lisa and Lori kicking it in. Robin with a kick-ass quote. You got Tim over there. Make sure you guys go and like and subscribe and hit notify for all your YouTube channels and help each other out and lift each other up. Research kindly, please. Don't shit on the fellow researcher sitting next to you with some crazy idea, because to them, it's the right thought, you know? And as their research evolves, it could change. You just don't know that. You know what I mean? So be good to one another. You should be good to one another anyways, you know? Thank you, everybody. Denny, I love you, bro. Hope the family's doing good up there. Damien, you're 44 today. Damien's birthday. Hang on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Damien. I would have sung it slower, but I got to go now to you and many more. How's that, brother? That's for you. Big Andy, you're getting all the love, man. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that. It's hard without my boy Wojo, man. I don't know what to do. Wojo says, boom, everybody. Everybody, Damien, happy birthday, brother. I hope you have a good one. There he goes. There you go. Oh, you're amazing. Hey, awesome. Love you. Give each other loves, right? I love you, baby Jack. I love you, mama. And for my boy Wojo, I'm going to get us out of here because that's what he does. And he ain't here. So we are home of the boom. Make sure you buy the merch and help out, please. Buy the merch. Bring a Jackson home. Talk to you soon. Keep climbing.